the reason I wanted to speak with you is given that you're obviously one of our county clerks in West Michigan, and tonight you decided to, or I should say during the hearing, you decided to start tweeting in real time, disputing some of the stuff that was being said. So what prompted you to start putting that information out there?
Well, I think, as we've talked to many, many constituents over the past several days, and honestly, the past couple of weeks, in hearing some of their concerns as they are hearing some of the stuff in the national media, some of these allegations, claims of voter fraud, claims of manipulation of the tabulation systems in our voting systems. We've been answering a whole lot of questions, and I believe that's appropriate for us to be able to do to our constituents. I mean, I owe that to the people who, put me in office, and the people who trust me to run their elections process, to provide them with information. That's certainly what we've been trying to do. And so I just felt compelled tonight, as many of these allegations are sort of coming from the source of Mr. Giuliani and the Trump campaign. I felt strongly that we should just put some facts out there. I'm not trying to argue with anyone. All I'm doing is, there's a lot of folks involved in this process that don't necessarily see the administrative side of elections, and they don't understand all of the laws of the state of Michigan and how they apply. And certainly there's some changes and some positive things, some tweaks that we need to make to the process. But it's important for people to understand the facts as well. And so, to the best of my ability, I was trying to put that out there tonight.
And so one of the big claims that was kind of reiterated by a lot of those who ended up speaking before legislators is that ballots were being run through the tabulator. These are absentee ballots multiple times. So therefore, votes were being added in despite not having the ballots. Is that something that a recount or even the canvass would catch?
Yeah, that's correct. The canvass would definitely catch that. And as we know from the canvass, there were some imbalances in many precincts across the state, Detroit not being an exception to that. But the imbalances were not significant. They were not the numbers of actual ballots in the imbalances would not have added up to multiple scanning of multiple batches of ballots like that. And again, these are things that are part of a process that election workers who are actually trained and certified to be election workers are trained to do. So for example, when they're scanning those batches of ballots and the equipment flags a ballot that is basically incorrectly marked somehow, or for example, if you voted for more candidates than allotted for, if you voted for 2 instead of 1 when it's only a vote for 1, that ballot would be flagged. And the system kind of stops and says, ballot number XYZ contains some kind of an error. And each one of those ballots have to be looked at. So the process for doing that is to rescan that batch after looking at that ballot. And so, again, I think a lot of it relates to misunderstandings. That's why I think it's so important that we get proper training of election challengers and observers, proper training of folks who when they see something, they kind of recognize what that is in the process, because there's a reason things are done the way they're done. Again, it's not to say that we can't change the laws. Maybe some laws need to be changed and adjusted. And I certainly think that is the case. And coming out of this, we can definitely improve the process. But it's so important for our observers to understand what's happening, because what they see as fraud or mismanagement is oftentimes simply a part of a process that they're not seeing the full picture.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else or any other allegations that you heard that you believe can be explained, given you're a county clerk, you know a lot about elections, probably too much on some days, but anything else that really stood out to you?
Well, I think, that's a great question. I think, some of the biggest claims that we've been dealing with are the, manipulation of vote totals by the system that counts the votes. And that really and truly because we use paper ballots in Michigan and in literally almost every state in the country, that can be proven whether or not machines manipulate votes. And in the case in Georgia, for example, where hand recounts were conducted, that was proven not to be the case. I firmly believe that in Michigan, that's also not the case. We're about to embark on post-election auditing process here in the state of Michigan. We're auditing about 10% of our precincts here in Ottawa County in the month of December. And part of that audit is going to be a hand recount of selected races to verify vote totals. And I'm very confident that those vote totals will be accurate. And again, people, I really believe people deserve an accurate and transparent election process, but they also deserve honesty. And I think we have to give people honest facts. We have to get to the bottom of some of these issues. And when false and misleading allegations are displayed, we need to confront those allegations, and we need to give people honesty, because people need to trust the process that they're using to select their government.